Here we have a master closet. It's a small one, and you can see one of the walls is about 94 inches, and then the other one is 87 and an eighth. And I first begin with thinking how I'm going to install it. So that all begins on the designing. So when designing, when laying everything out, I start putting all the cabinets. As you can see over here, I'm setting up the drawers, the reveals, how everything is gonna look. But my thinking process is exactly as how I intend to install it, and that only comes with experience. After you have 2-3 years of experience, you kind of know where you want to start depending on how tight the spaces are. And since we do everything pre-finished or laminates, we don't build anything on. We try not to build anything on the side. We try to bring everything as boxes, so the installation goes much quicker. So I'm laying everything out, like I said, and I'm picturing everything how it's gonna look. And it is, at least for me, it is really important to have the drawings, to have blueprints, and nowadays with technology, it's even more important to have access to even 3D drawings, like this one that I'm doing, because I've noticed that when I do the 3D drawings, I can see problems that is really hard to see on a 2D drawing. Mostly installation problems. You don't see sometimes how it's gonna affect you on the installation. Plus, having drawings, having blueprints, it gives you the ability to set the pieces exactly where you want them to be. And I'll explain a little bit more of this one. See over there at the top, it says 30 inches. That's how far away from the back wall I'm starting the cabinets on either side. And also right now I'm laying the the ceiling trim that is going to cover the gap between the top of the cabinets and the ceiling. That allows me for cabinets to be able to stand inside the room without tokics. Okay, so once I have all the cabinets, I go ahead and I do my like properties, job properties. I describe what kind of tokics, if any, are included, what kind of edge banding, what kind of interiors, what kind of door detail, if any. If it is flat, I put flat melamine or flat stock or flat slabs, and that gives me the go ahead of creating the final views, is what I call these ones. So when I'm creating the views, I'm always thinking, what's the easy path that the client can have to understand the drawings? And for me, other than these layouts with the dimensions, it has been important also to add a set of 3D views for the client also. So I include the fillers, I include the width of the cabinets, I put the real material thickness that I'm gonna be using. Then I go ahead and I modify a little bit of the dimensions. Not that I change the dimensions, it's just that I clean the drawing a little bit so it doesn't become confusing for the client. Over here I'm having a 3/4 countertop just where the drawers are going to be, and I'm removing dimensions that are not needed, like the ceiling height. I only needed it one side of the wall. I don't need it in two sides. And then what else I have over here? Let's see. Yeah, the dimensions at the bottom. See, I went with 30 inches, and then two cabinets 31 1/4, and then the filler 1 1/4 inch. All these are open cabinets. And then for the bank of drawers, I also go ahead and lay out the shape of the countertop. That's the countertop. I put as much information as I can. Remember, my saying always goes, your helper, it will be as efficient as your ability to transfer information to him. And because I'm creating these drawings for either a shop, a helper, or another company to build the cabinets for me, I have to be clear, I have to be precise, I have to be including as much information as I can, because I don't want them to be calling me every 5 minutes, every hour, asking me if it is 1 inch what we are leaving between a wall and a filler, or what size of trim at the top we are using. I don't want those questions be coming to me. So language, it's a powerful tool that we humans have. Writing is another powerful tool. So I use those tools to transfer that information so everything comes out the way I expected. So now I leave you to the video that shows the installation. The few challenges that we face over here, the first one is how to get the cabinet in, because we already put one in and we utilize the whole length of the room in order to be able to stand it up. The one that is in is right there, number 7. So it's right here, and I'm always thinking, how am I gonna install it? This section over here has fillers on either side, a bank of drawers at the bottom, an upper at the top, and a countertop that separates the lower with the upper. You can see it over here in the elevation. That is the countertop. So my thinking is starting with this one, installing this one. But because we need the whole length to be able to stand everything else up, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring all the tall cabinets in first. It's gonna end up looking like this. This is the left wall, back wall, right wall, right, back, left. So now we have this one coming. Okay, so we are going straight into the bathroom and standing it up a little bit. It's really tight spaces. So we always protect the floors with blankets. The furniture blankets are really helpful. And then come in with the bottom already in place. So when the cabinet goes down, we are able to flip it a little bit and stand it up. I couldn't capture how we stand them up. I had to help the guys. Basically, we are going in all the way, and then we tilt the cabinet. We're going like this on each side, and then we tilt it a little bit and keep going up and up. The top section of the cabinet keeps going up, the bottom section stays on the ground, and that gives us the angle that we need in order to flip it on its back, because it's the only way that we can go and stand it up. As you can see, there is only like 3.5 inches gap from the ceiling to the top of the cabinet. That's gonna be covered with what we call a crown clit. It's an L shape molding with edge banding on the bottom, edge banding of the same material. This one. Okay. So after that one goes on, then we're gonna go ahead and utilize this 1/2 inch by 1 inch edge banding on the bottom as our molding piece that is going to close the gap between the ceiling and the crown cleat. That's what we are right now, and last tall cabinet is coming up right now, right there, up the stairs. And so after this, I'm gonna go ahead and start installing the back wall with the drawers, and then I'll show you what I do with the upper and the countertop to have a really tight seam. I was not able to capture how I do the countertop with the upper. I'll try next time. But basically what I do is I flip the cabinet over the upper, and then I screw the countertop from underneath to the upper cabinet. Then that becomes one piece. Then I slide the countertop with the upper, I slide it on top of the lower cabinet, and then I screw the countertop through the bottom of the top of the lower cabinet. That gives me the very tight seam between the upper and the countertop. Thank you for watching.